So, as we know, PTSD diagnostic category probably is as influential a change as there has been in DSM over the years. In 1980, was the first time it was introduced to the diagnostic manual, and had at the instigation of Vietnam vet groups, amongst others, and it's had a profound effect. So, as we move from DSM-4 to DSM-5, is our conception is the conception of what we mean by PTSD, has that changed from going from edition 4 to edition 5?
Oh my goodness, yes. In a couple of arenas. Number one, the diagnostic criteria has been significantly expanded. There's now 3.5 pages of diagnostic criteria in the DSM-5, 24 criteria, out of which, in the 4 clusters, an individual citizen must meet 7 of the 24 criteria in order to qualify for the mental disorder. Mm-hmm. They're also going to offer to us a new concept to PTSD, and that is that the person need not just necessarily experience or witness the trauma, they may have learned about the trauma. And that is a remarkable addition that is somewhat controversial. But it is a remarkable addition to this diagnosis in both the adult and the childhood realm. For instance, in the childhood realm, we know that children who display the symptoms of PTSD were not necessarily physically, sexually, psychologically abused. They may have come from very loving homes. It's just they came from homes where either one of the or the other primary caregiver experienced a trauma. They process that trauma with their intimate spouse, partner, or mate in front of the kids. Mm-hmm. And now that child, exposed to listening to that traumatic issue on the part of the parent, begins to develop the symptoms of PTSD in children because they learned about it. That learned issue in adults is also extremely important when you look at men and women who are in high-risk professions of being exposed to trauma, such as social workers, psychologists, psychiatrists, where some of us spend our day listening to our clients' horror stories.
So the whole notion of vicarious
exactly
trauma
correct.
Legitimized,
exactly correct. Has been captured.
As,
yep.
In
has
DSM-5.
been captured.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, the most controversial aspect of this diagnosis of PTSD, over and above the expanded criteria, over and above the diminished threshold of criteria for the diagnosis, over and above that learned, is the issue of risk factors and predisposing vulnerabilities. Mm-hmm.